Hello everyone. Today's topic name is servlet. First one, basic of servlet. The need of creating dynamic web pages, that is the one which have capabilities to change the site content according to time or are able to generate content according to request received by the client. If you like coding in Java, then you will be happy to know that using Java there are also exist a way generate dynamic web pages, and that way is Java in Servlet. Servlet are Java programs to run Java enabled server application or application server and web application. They are used to handle requests obtained from web server, process request, produce response and send response back to the web server. So servlet are used for create dynamic web pages means dynamic web pages means pages that can changes based on time and user input. Servlet run on a server. The servlet works are take request from users and process them request and send back a response. So there are properties of servlet. Our servlet work on server side. Servlet are capable of handling complex requests obtained from web server. Servlet technology is used to create web application. There are two types, web server and application server. So here servlet architecture, web browser, HTTP protocol, HTTP server, servlet program and database. Next, architecture of servlet. How work the servlet here? Client request sent to the servlet server. Then web container that request processed. Thread means process and go to servlet. Each servlet request on processing create a response and response are back to the users. Next, execution of servlet involves six basic steps. There are a client send request to web server. Next, web server receive the request. Web server passes the request to corresponding servlet, and servlet process that request and generate the response from the output. Servlet send the response back to the web browser, and web browser sends that response back to the client, and client browser display on it the screen. So next is a CGI. CGI is actually external application written by using the any programming languages like C, C++, and this is responsible for processing client requests and generating dynamic content. In CGI application, when a client makes a request to access the dynamic web pages, CGI is a older way for creating dynamic web pages. Before Servlet, the CGI is used for create the dynamic web pages. It is an external program written in C, C++, and any other programming languages. So when request come in CGI, the web server find a CGI program. Next, start the new process to running and passes request to the program, gets result back and users back to the response. So CGI performs operations. First, locate the requested on web page, required CGI application using the URL. Then create new process, service, client request, invoke CGI application, process passes request information to application, collect the response from CGI application, destroy this process, prepare the HTTP response and send the it client. So CGI is the same as a servlet. It is before servlet. CGI used for the dynamic web pages. Here, architecture of CGI, client HTTP requests are sent to the server, and server sent to the HTTP server the CGI application. So CGI application process the request and HTTP response to server, and server HTTP response to client. So for each request, a new process is produced, will be created. Next, servlet APIs. Servlet are built from two packages, javax.servlet, it is a basic, and javax.servlet.http, it is a advanced. So first is a javax.servlet packages. It is interfaces are servlet, servlet config, context, servlet request response. There are methods for create the interfaces in javax.servlet packages, and classes are generic servlet, servlet request wrapper. There are multiple classes used in javax.servlet package. In javax.servlet.http package, we use interface the HTTP servlet request, servlet response, HTTP sessions, HTTP session attribute listener, or more are the methods using in javax.servlet HTTP package. There are classes used in javax.servlet.http are cookies, HTTP servlet, and multiple. Thank you.